Hello guys, this is going to be me solving the practice homework for manipulation. For those of you who are going to take the SAT, it's very important to know manipulation, so let's go ahead and just do it. Okay, let's do the first one, which is this one right here. The equation above gives the total pressure P on an object submerged in a fluid, where P naught is the pressure at the fluid surface. Actually, let me just give you a tip. You don't need to read everything on a question like this. Why? Because I see they got a formula here, and I see that they're going to be asking what's H in terms of P, P0, rho, and G. So I know I got to solve for H. All right. The first step is going to be what term is the H attached to? And I know it's all of this. So I got to subtract P0 on both sides. So minus P0, minus P0. So I can cancel out. So P minus P0 equals rho G H. Now that the H is attached to rho G, I can go ahead and get rid of this. So I can divide both sides by rho G. So divide both sides by rho G. Cancel this out. So P minus P naught divided by rho G equals to H. P minus P naught divided by rho G, B is right. Okay, let's do number 2. The formula above relates volume, mass, and density. What is the density in terms of volume and mass? I didn't have to read this. I see a formula. I know every single answer is in terms of D. Not in terms of D, but solving for D in terms of M and V. Sorry about that. So we got to solve for D. So the D is in the bottom. We got to multiply both sides by D because we want this D in the top. All right. So multiplying both sides by D, we can cancel this out. So dV equals M. Now we can divide both sides by V. All right. So D equals M divided by V. B. Or we could have done cross multiplication like, no. One sec. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we could have done the D comes up, the V comes down, like cross multiplication. So D equals M divided by V, same thing. All right. So B is right. Okay. Torricelli law. Do you care about Torricelli law? Because I don't. Let's see it. I know every single answer is in some kind of equation, so I know I'm going to have to solve for something here. Most of the time, they're going to give us like the variable, like here on the side, and it's going to be equal to whatever equation they have, just like question number 2 here. But a lot of them, as you can see, also don't, but we can read the last part. Which of the following is equivalent to the velocity, v? So we want to solve for v. All right. So the v is attached to 1/2 to the m. So first of all, we got to do multiplication and division, not the square root. So v squared, we can divide both sides by m. So let's do step by step. 1/2 v squared equals, cancel this, g h. And now we can multiply both sides by 2. So v squared, to get rid of this, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So v squared equals 2gh. Now we can take the square root of both sides. So v equals square root of 2gh. C. Easy. Okay, let's do some hard problems here. I'm looking at the equation. I don't care about the questions. I don't care about what the question says because I see that every single answer is solving for y. So I just got to solve for y. So this is the term that the y is attached to right now. So I gotta subtract 6 on both sides. That's the first step. So w minus 6 equals 3xy divided by 75. Okay, so I can do everything at once or I can do step by step. Let's do step by step. So I can multiply both sides by 75. So 75. So I can get rid of the 75 here. So 75 times w minus 6 equals 3xy. Nice. So now I can get rid of the 3x, because we want to solve for y. So let's divide everything by 3x. Since it's being multiplied by 3x, we got to divide to get rid of it. So divide by 3x. So y equals 75 times w minus 6, all divided by 3x. So I don't see any of the answer choices like the one I have. So did I do something wrong? No. Do I get anxious and I get like, oh my god, there's no right answer? What do I do? No. I look at my answer and I be like, and I think, what can I do? Is it fully simplified? That's a good thing that happened right now. So I can see that it's not fully simplified because I can simplify the 3 in the 75. So 75 divided by 3 is the same thing as, let me get my calculator, 75 divided by 3, that's 25. So that's 25 divided by 1, but I don't write down the 1 in the bottom, times w minus 6, all divided by x equals y. That could have been one of the answers as well. Do you guys see it? No. What can I do? Am I scared? Am I oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's the right answer? No. I can see that I can still distribute because every single question, every single answer is distributed. So let's do that. So distribute the 25 to the w into the minus 6. So 25w minus 25 times 6 is 150 minus 150. Everything divided by x equals to y. Okay, now that should be it. 25 minus 150 divided by x. Okay, C is right. It's a good thing that this happened in this question because I've never done any of those questions. I know they're good, but I've never done them. And this is the exact line of thought you gotta have on the test. So keep calm and just trust yourself. And actually, one other tip: look at the answers, see how they are, and go with it. Just like I did here. I knew it was going to be distributed because I look at the answers. Okay. So the following equations correctly expresses R in terms of Q and S. So we got to solve for R. Okay, so we got two R's. So first thing I'm going to do, this is a extremely hard, extreme hard problem. So that's good. So we got to factor out the R squared on both of those terms because both of them have an r squared, so I can factor that out. So r squared times, since I factored out the r squared from the 9r squared, everything that's going to remain is the 9 plus, since I factored out the r squared from 16s squared r squared, everything that's going to be left is 16s squared. Remember, when we factor out, it's like dividing. So if we distribute, we're going to multiply. And by distributing, you can see if it makes sense what you factored. So, okay, that's good. So now the r is right here, and everything is being multiplied by r squared. So we can divide everything by 9, both sides by 9, plus 16s squared to get rid of this. So divided by 9 plus 16s squared. So we know that r squared equals q divided by 9 plus 16s squared. And notice I just wrote the problem left to right, even though it was right to left. It doesn't matter. It's inequality. The left equals right, right equals left, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we got to take square root of both sides. Square root. So r equals the square root of q divided by 9 plus 16s squared. So q divided by 9 plus 16s squared, b. And the plus or minus here, not a big deal. We're going to learn about this plus or minus in quadratics, but it's not a big deal for this kind of question. Okay, last but not least, I see there's an equation. I see every single answer is m equals something, so I gotta solve for m. I know that. So m is attached to this whole term, 3rt divided by m due to the square root. So what can we do to get rid of the square root? Square both sides. Goodbye, goodbye. So v squared equals 3RT divided by m. Like I taught you guys, like I mentioned actually on this first question right here, we could do cross multiplication and that should be fine. All right, so the m can come up here and the v can come down here. Cross multiplication happens when we got one term on the left, one term on the right, and we can do this. One term means like a term that can have multiple variables or coefficients or numbers be multiplied but not added, because once you add or subtract, they're different terms. All right, so we can do m equals 3RT divided by v squared, b. Or we could have done like the long way, v squared equals 3RT divided by m. So we multiply both sides by m because we gotta get this m up top since we want to solve for m. So multiplying both sides by m, can get rid of this. So this comes here. So mv squared equals 3RT. So now we got to divide both sides by v squared. So m at the end of the day is going to be the same thing, 3RT divided by v squared. Okay, that should be it. Let me know if you have any questions. We got some difficult problems here, like this one. I doubt we're gonna see a harder problem than this on the test, but it's always good to be prepared. All right, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. My cell phone is always open. See ya.